Football season is back, and welcome to the Miami Dolphins franchise here on Madden 26. I was asked a bunch if I was going to do a franchise this year, but come on guys, was there any doubt that this would happen? I'm extremely excited about this series, and I know there was a lot of love for a Titans franchise, but they are in a position to build around their quarterback of the future, and the Miami Dolphins are headed in the wrong direction. This team is pretty deceiving to the eye because of the speed on the screen, but when you take a deep look at their roster, you'll see the issues. They've tried the route of a high-powered offense coach, and that has not boded well for them, so in this series, we will call for a defensive head coach, and that man is Ben Silas. If you watch my Seahawks series last year, we drafted a 400-pounder at defensive tackle, also known as Big Ben, with a day 2 pick. And he turned out to be one of the more electrifying players who we also used at fullback during our playoff game against the Eagles. We are going to stick with the Miami Dolphins playbook, but I may consider switching the defense to the Seahawks one to bring back the nostalgia. But Ben Silas will be the guy we will trust to bring this team back to the Super Bowl, which they haven't won since 1973. And the last appearance was in 1984. That's over 50 years of pain for Dolphins fans. This year in Madden 26, the coordinators are going to play a major role. We will need to reconsider our options for the OC and DC towards the end of the year. But the trainer Gary Irwin is a level 33, so he's staying, and we'll need Gary to work his magic. Which also is a great segue to discussing our roster. It's gonna always start with the quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. It's no secret anymore who Tua Tagovailoa is as a starting quarterback. Accurate, poised, and capable of leading an explosive offense, but always carrying the shadow of his injury history. One bad hit could change everything. I want to believe he's the man to take us to the promised land, but that dream lives and dies with how well we protect him. I also wouldn't be surprised if we moved on from him to draft a stronger arm quarterback, but we are going to be tied to the hip with this contract, and he's got 4 seasons to prove us that he is worth all this money, and the leash may be even shorter than that. We all know the issues isn't the playmakers surrounding Tua, but the lack of protection for him from the offensive line. Management hasn't done enough to shield their most expensive investment, and that needs to change, because every time Tua drops back, we're left wondering if the next hit will be the last one he ever takes. It has to be the foundation of this rebuild, and the offensive line must become the team's first priority. And if there's one player who could help Tua silence the doubters, it's the fastest man in football, Tyreek Hill. Where did the time go? The Cheetah is now on the other side of 30, but he's still one of the most explosive weapons in the league, capable of leaving any secondary in the dust. The catch? He might be our biggest trade chip. With 2 years left on his deal and a massive payday looming in 2026, Tyreek Hill is both our greatest weapon and one of our most valuable assets to move. Next season alone, he and Tua will account for over $100 million against the salary cap. That's why this roster feels financially chained. So much invested in 2 stars, leaving far less room to strengthen the rest of the team. However, they did lock up another speedster in Jalen Waddle. I'm glad they got this deal done because Waddle's speed and route running ability create matchup nightmares for defenses. And I still believe there's plenty of more upside for him to unlock as the offense evolves. I can promise you now that Jalen Waddle will be a Dolphin for the duration of this series. Another fun option in the offense is Devon A-Chain. I love running the ball, but A-Chain is more than just a runner. He's like a Swiss Army knife out there. He can catch the ball out of the backfield and make defenders miss in space. I'm a big fan of running a committee in the backfield, especially with young talents like Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon on the roster, but make no mistake, A-Chain will see the bulk of those touches. That pretty much sums up the offense, though the aging tight end group definitely needs an upgrade. But on defense, there's a glaring concern. Starting with this secondary that leaves us with some big shoes to fill after trading Jalen Ramsey away this offseason. Honestly, the cornerback position reminds me of what I have in my Georgia State dynasty, And I can tell you it's not going to be easy facing elite quarterbacks like Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. But the back end offers some relief with Minkah Fitzpatrick returning to the team that originally drafted him. He's clearly going to be the leader of this defense, a playmaker we desperately need, capable of doing just about anything and everything on the field. And we'll see how everything plays out when his contract is up. This part is awesome because we get to reunite with Tyrel Dodson, who we developed pretty well in my Seahawks franchise. And we'll see if lightning strikes twice, but Jordan Brooks is the one who will captain this group. And we also have some other experienced vets like Willie Gay in the mix as well. Pass rushers are the most critical part when revamping a defense, and Kenneth Grant is a big reason why I chose the Dolphins. Because Coach Silas is going to have a soft spot for a large defensive tackle that reminds him of himself, but Grant has even greater potential than his current coach. Another up-and-coming guy is Chop Robinson. He had an astounding rookie season, and I'm looking for him to be one of our standout players on the defense. How much more can he build from his 6-sack season? But that is pretty much the breakdown of this team, and there are some good pieces to win now and some questionable holes on both sides of the ball. We also have vets like James Daniels, Darren Waller, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and Zach Sealer, but it all comes down to health for them and the rest of this team. But let me know what you guys think of this Miami Dolphins series. We of course have a lot of work to do to make sure this team isn't one and done every year, and that's going to come with some good decisions like scouting and drafting the right guys. This class has a few quarterbacks and running backs up the board, but I don't think we are going to be a bad enough team where we would pick high. We are projected with the number 13 pick with an additional third from Houston, but that's why I'm more drawn to teams that are in the middle of the pack for rebuilds. It's more of a challenging decision to either go all in or blow it up. It's so dangerous to be in the middle. But either way we go, it needs to start by scouting the big boys up front. Oh great, what a way to start. Kenneth Grant is already out with a groin injury that could take between 2 to 4 weeks. So he will most likely miss our first 2 games of the season, which is the Colts and Patriots. And when I skim through the schedule, I think we can at least make the playoffs for the first year. The Bills, Ravens, and Bengals are the only teams that bring me concern, but we'll see how this will turn out. My series are going to look a lot different going forward, especially if you have caught up with my Georgia State dynasty. It'll be more 2-game episodes between the 14 to 18 minute range so that we can get through seasons quicker and it'll be easier for you guys to consume. It'll feel like I'm playing the play the moments, but I promise that every snap is being played by me on All-Madden. We won't miss out on any specific storylines that I have, and there will be no simming involved. And so far I've heard that the sliders are on point, so I will keep it until I hear anything different. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm excited to be back. If you made it this far, please hit the subscribe button and like the video. What a moment for Ben Silas, who went to college in Florida and now he is back home. And I hope you're ready to take this journey with him and the Miami Dolphins.